I have a plan to get better this year. Do you? Do you want to get better this year? It's Craig with Single Length School here. So you stopped by this video. I'm guessing you want to get better at golf in 2022 or whatever year this is. You want to start the year off right and lower your scores this year. Well, so do I. And here in this video, I'm going to show you what I'm doing to help lower my scores this year. I'm going to give you a couple different things that I'm working on that I think you can incorporate into your practice sessions, in your routine, and help you lower your scores as well. I've got a couple great things here, but stay tuned to the end, and I'm going to give you the number one thing that's going to help lower your scores this year. Let's talk about how I'm going to work to improve my putting and how you can do the same thing. I'm not going to spend a ton of time, hours upon hours per day, working on my putting, but I am going to take maybe an hour or two per week up until the season, and then when I get into the season, I'm going to take 15, 20 minutes every day that I can to really work on my putting. And one of the tools I like is this stroke strip, is what I'm going to call it. It's from Eyeline Golf, and really what it is it's actually called a stroke meter, but you can see it's got colored areas to focus and help you get your stroke going back and through the same distance. Now, Bryson uses a ruler with marker on it. You can do that too. You don't have to buy the stroke meter, but I use this not only for myself, but for my students to ensure that, yes, I can actually get the club back and through the same distance. So it's real simple, and I'm here on my putting mat that I've got here in the living room. And all I'll do is I'll sit here for, let's say today, maybe 20 minutes, just working on the different strokes to build the muscle memory. And so in this case, I'm going to go back to the yellow and try and finish on the yellow. So back to yellow, through on yellow. And it's a little short, but that's okay. I'm just working on that muscle memory and kind of trying to judge it within my feet. So in this case, gray, going back, the gray is halfway between my feet to my front toe. Green is right big toe to my left big toe, or just about halfway through my left foot. Yellow is middle of my back foot to the outside of my front foot. And I'm just working on building that muscle memory. And if I do this for 15, 20 minutes a day during the season, or an hour outside of the season, right now when I'm doing my off-season work, this is going to be something that's going to help me keep a consistent putting stroke out on the course, so that when I'm out there, now I'm in better shape and I know that I have a consistent stroke. It's just a matter of dialing in the distances. When it comes to chipping, very much like putting, it's all about consistency. We want to be good around the greens, because if we're good and solid around the greens where we can get up and down on most of our chips, then we're going to drastically improve our scores. Rather than blading a chip across the green or just chunking it and leaving it way short, if we can get it inside a 3 foot or so circle and give ourselves a good shot at a one putt, that's really going to help lower my score. So same type of thing I'll do with putting is I'll actually work a little bit of chipping inside. Now I can do it on the simulator if I choose to, but sometimes I like to get a real feel and look at it. So what I'll do is I'll just throw down a little hitting mat here on my putting green. And because my putting green is actually kind of laying on an area rug, I've got a little bit of give. It's not going to hit the floor and take off. But what I'm going to do is, again, I'm just going to work on my putting stroke, or chipping stroke, excuse me. And here, I'm just working on a consistent stroke over and over and over again. Because what we do with chipping, and the way I teach my students, is to make a shoulder turn very much like you're putting. So all I have to do to adjust distances is adjust how much my shoulders turn. I'm taking the risk completely out of it. So all I'll do is, again, 15, 20 minutes every day, or the days I can. I try and make it at least 2 to 3 days a week of about 20 minutes where I'm just going to sit here and hit chips. Now, it's only about 8 feet, but what I'm doing is building a consistent stroke, and I'm building that into muscle memory. So over and over again throughout the day and throughout the week, if I'm outside, I can do it outside as well. All I'm looking to do is build a consistent motion with my chips. I'm not worried about making it, not worried about how close I am right now in the off season. I'm just worried about the feel. Now, during the season, yes, what I'm going to do is start to pick out targets and adjust how much I rotate my shoulders. But for the time being, to lower your scores, build a consistent chipping motion. Practice it, stick with it, and that's going to help lower your scores. Of course, we all want to hit it further. I do too, which is weird coming from somebody who consistently drives it over 300 yards, but yes, I do want to hit it further as well. So another thing I like to work on, and that I'm going to work on to lower my scores and put myself in a better position to score better this year, is my swing speed. And how do I do that? Well, there's a lot of different ways to do it. You really don't have to go to the gym and bulk up. Now, as you can see, I've got some workout gear here that I do use. And I will get in a little bit better shape this year, but I have an app on my phone that allows me to get stronger and stretch properly to get longer drives. But the biggest thing is what we call over speed or high speed training. And there's a lot of different tools out there that can do it. The one I use is called the Ripstick. Now, the nice thing about the Ripstick is it is 4 different clubs in one. I can pull weights out, I can put them in to make this club heavier. It's got a weight in the handle to help work with my hands. And the system has a great online program that you can follow. It's free to help build up your swing speed. Now, a couple days ago at the range, I was clocking in, my high clock in was around 117. Considering it's winter, I'm okay with that. But in the season, I want to be consistently above 120. At max, I'd like to be at 125. At a nice, easy, smooth swing, I want to be in the 120 area. So really, what we do, and I will have a separate series on my swing speed training, but a little monitor that monitors how fast you swing it. That's going to tell you that what your baseline is with your driver, and then you simply go through a series of protocols with your training stick, and you go as hard as you can. And now the workouts with the stick only take about 10 minutes. If you do it 3 times per day for 6 weeks, you should see a significant increase in your speed. And it depends on how fast your speed is. But for someone like me who's in the 115 area, over 6 weeks, I should be in that 120 range. And as long as I continue with that, then I should easily be able to get to 125 by the midpoint of the season. I'm filming this at the beginning of the year, in January. So by the time I hit May or June, that swing speed should be in that 125 and that 120 consistently. So another way to help lower your scores is to get longer. Now, down in the description, I have a link to the Ripstick. You can go there. There's actually a discount code for it as well. So if you need something to help with your overspeed training, give the Ripstick a try. Like I said, it's down in the description with a discount code for you. A great way to get better this year is to focus on your mechanics. I see my students come in all the time. They start playing with different things. And what happens is the base that we build that has them playing consistently in better golf, they start to play with it and it gets them out of whack. So one of the things I like to do throughout the season, and that I'm going to try to really focus on this year, is working on my mechanics and keeping the mechanics. And so for me, that's getting into my setup, getting comfortable, going back nice and slow, and then feeling my drop and feeling my hips turn. I'm trying to feel all those mechanics work. And there's a feeling, when you strike a good shot, that's the feeling that you're looking for throughout your swing. So what I recommend and what I like to do when I'm working on my mechanics is just start slow. Get in your setup, take a slow backswing, get to the point where you know you should be and not much further, and then start your hip turn and your hand drop. Real slow. You don't even have to hit a ball. Just real slow, nice and back, and feel the mechanics. Just nice and through. And then work yourself up. Start swinging a little bit harder. Then start adding some balls into it and start hitting the balls. This is something that takes me 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes a day. I have the space to do it. I will. 5 minutes a day. If you don't have the space inside, step outside. 5 minutes a day is all you need to do to feel those mechanics. Get those mechanics right and consistent, and you'll be playing better golf. So you've seen some of the tips and some of the things that I'm doing to lower my score this coming year. And I'm hoping that you really want to implement those in your game to help you lower your scores as well. But the biggest thing that is going to help you lower your scores in this next year on the golf course is consistency. What do I mean by consistency? Well, too often do I see students come in or students reach out to me saying, hey, I changed this in my bag. I changed this with my swing. I changed this ball brand. All those factors can set you back in your progress. And listen, I'm as guilty as the next guy, as the next golfer. I've done it too. So this year, my goal is to stay 100% consistent. What's in my golf bag now stays in my golf bag all year. My swing right now stays my swing all year. And what golf ball I'm playing, it stays all year. I want to eliminate as many variables as I can to make my golf game that much better and lower my scores. So to do that, it's all about consistency. So stay consistent. So thanks for stopping by. I hope these tips that I'm going to use in my game help you lower your scores as well. If you have any questions or want to learn a little bit more about my swing program, it's on demand, it's virtual. However you want to learn, check out singlelengthschool.com. I also want to thank all the partners I have that help me do what I do and are allowing me to get better at my game. So people like and companies like Ripstick, One With Golf with the golf bag, and I do want to issue a quick correction on One With Golf. In my last video, I made some errors in the information I gave you. The One With Golf bags are great. They are not fully waterproof. They are treated with a waterproof barrier or a water-resistant barrier, so they are water-resistant, not waterproof. And Sandy, the person that hooked me up with the bag, it's actually a she, not a he. So I apologize for that, Sandy. But One With Golf for the golf bag, Adele with the irons, all the other companies, my Amazon pages, True Score Golf, great products, help me stay healthy and help me alleviate some of the pain. So hopefully this video finds you well, helps you prepare for the new golf year and get you ready. And by the end of the year, if you remember, the biggest thing you need to do is stay consistent. If you stay consistent, I'm willing to bet at the end of the year, you're playing better golf. Thanks for watching, guys.